Hello! Thanks for checking out Hobgoblin, the game of brutal fantasy battles from me, Mike Hutchinson. In this video, I'm going to show off what is probably my favourite part of Hobgoblin, which is how you build an army. Every unit in Hobgoblin gets one of a list of unit types which describe generically their role on the battlefield, and this makes building an army really simple. You just look at your models and decide what class of unit they are. That gives the base points cost for the unit, and then you can add strengths, which increase the cost, or weaknesses, which decrease the cost, to give the unit the flavour that you want. Right, let's build an army. To avoid you having to muck about with paper and pencil and calculator, I've made an army building tool for Hobgoblin. Search for Hobgoblin Army Builder. Head on over to the Planet Smasher website, and you'll find a link to a high-tech army building application made in a spreadsheet. This link takes you to the template, which is for me to mess about with and you to make a copy of. So go ahead and click File and make a copy for yourself in your own Google Drive. From here you can duplicate the template page for as many army lists as you want. I love these infernal dwarfs from Lost Kingdom. Let's build an army of them. We'll start with the basic unit of spearmen with shields. These guys are heavily armoured, so I'm going to choose heavy infantry. And I feel like these immortals are probably some elite royal guard, so I'm going to give them the elite strength. The next unit is this group of bull centaurs, which look pretty rad. Adding those, I think heavy cavalry is probably the best descriptor of these. I could go for monstrous infantry, but in this case I figure they've got the speed and the hitting power. Next up we've got a unit of hobgoblin infantry. They look like light infantry to me. In this case I imagine them as slightly cowardly, so I'm going to give them a weakness to reflect that. That reduces the points value of this unit. Next up we've got these berserkers. It's a small unit and they look pretty crazy. They're not wearing much armour, so I'm going to go for light infantry, but I'm going to give them the brutal and elite strengths. And to represent their craziness I'm going to go for the berserk weakness. This unit of blunderbuss warriors looks like it hits really hard, is quite heavily armoured, but probably quite short range. There's a few ways I could represent that, either as ranged infantry with elite and maybe short range to bring their range down to 12, or alternatively I could choose heavy infantry with range 12, giving them a 12-inch range and maybe deadly shots. When building units in Hobgoblin, it's really up to you how you choose to assign rules to the models that you like the look of. I've tried to keep the system really flexible so that you can decide how your units behave on the table and even change their rules from one game to another if you're not happy with them. Further down there's a unit of golems that I've got to include. This is 3 large models in a unit together, which to me screams monstrous infantry. I imagine that they're powered by fire magic, which somewhat burns them out as they attack during the game, so I'm going to give them the weakness self-destructive. Next to the golems is a model that looks pretty much essential to include in this army because of how badass it is. To build a spellcasting general on a flying monster, we can choose the monster unit type and then add the wizard and general strengths. Wizard is going to let it cast spells. General is a free upgrade that one of your units has to take. Of course, it's got wings, so we better give it flying. That clocks in at a massive 1200 points. This might be putting all of our eggs in one basket, but it's a good looking model. The final thing I want to include is this wizard. Including a wizard in your army is as simple as painting the model, popping it in one of the units, and giving that unit the wizard upgrade. I think this wizard's going to hang out with these heavy infantry. And that's it. We've created a 4,000 point infernal dwarf army for Hobgoblin. We'll get it on the table, play a game, and if we don't like it, we can tweak the units and the keywords for the next battle. Thanks for checking out Hobgoblin. If you want to have a go at building your own army, click the link in the description below to find the army building tool. See you on the battlefield. Cheers!